presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are MC.
Royals baseball on a beautiful sunny night in Minneapolis. And at Target Field, the Royals have won 9 of their last 10 games against the Twins. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Sudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Longtime Royals fans will remember how tough the Twins were on the Royals. From 2004 to 2012, a 9-season period, the Royals were 43 games below 500 against Minnesota alone. And that's really changed in the last 4 years.
Yes, it has, Ryan. That's a good thing because, man, that's a futile period of time. Now, the last couple of seasons, the Royals have been to the top of the mountain. We all know that. But they've established their dominance by hitting. The offense has come alive here, especially at Target Field and against the Twins. They seem to pitch, defend, and hit, and it's all timely. And what we're seeing is that they're piling up the wins against the Twins, and they got to keep it going tonight with Dylan G on a bump.
Yeah, and they did all that last night. They had good starting pitching, they had timely hitting, and they had outstanding defense, especially by Paulo Orlando. Back to starting pitching, hoping that the Royals can pass the baton on to Dylan G. It's been a great run for the Royals starting rotation since the beginning of August. Joel and Monty will discuss that.
Welcome back to Target Field. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. Pitching has been very good for the rotation in August, Monty. A 3.01 ERA, and that includes one really bad performance from Edinson Volquez. But it started with Duffy with that dominant performance in Tampa, and lately they've had some big guns going.
Yeah, and really, if you look at this stretch that they've been in, it's probably the best stretch of the entire season for the rotation. We know the importance of starting pitching. Doesn't have to carry this team, but it has to be good. Lately, it's been really good.
Yeah, Kennedy passing the baton to Duffy, over to Ventura, so perhaps it'll be Dylan G's turn tonight. But our Honda Most Trusted takes a look at that rotation over the last 8 games. Absolutely spectacular.
Right, not a team in baseball would love to have this numbers for their starting rotation. Going to give you a chance to win every time out there with those kind of numbers.
The timing of this is really important, too, as they wait for the offense to really get going. But more importantly, a thin bullpen, they're taking some pressure off of them.
They really do, and especially the back end of the bullpen. You want those guys fresh. When you have a chance to win a game, they're ready to go. Calvin Herrera, I talked to him today. His batteries have been recharged.
Good to hear that, and they'll love to see him come in and close one out. But to get there, it'll take some great defense, and the Royals outfield has been on a roll. More on that next.
Below 500 at the moment. Our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard says they're playing outfield defense like they were last year.
That's right. They're very fundamentally sound. They know how to play it. They do everything the right way. They know how to make the throws and how to hit the cutoff man. It's been fun to watch. This is a very, very fundamental team. There's some more powerful offenses out there, but none are better in the outfield than the Royals. Saving those runs for those pitchers. It's been a beautiful thing to watch.
Dylan G would like to see some of that tonight. He'll go up against Tyler Duffy of the Twins, and the first pitch is next. Paulo Orlando will lead off. The Royals scored 7 runs last night. The Royals have won 3 straight. They have won 5 of their last 6. And with a win tonight, will win a 3rd consecutive series if they can get past Tyler Duffey and the Minnesota Twins. And Duffy's first pitch of the night is a fastball for a strike.
Tyler Duffey's been a good pitcher the last couple of outings. He's piled up the strikeouts. He's got 14 strikeouts in his last 12 innings. And he's doing that with better fastball command. Now, he's not overpowering, but, you know, in order to be a good starter, you got to have that fastball command, and that's working.
His ERA is just under 6, but on Monday against a very good offense, the Astros, he held them to 1 run, 4 hits in 6 innings. And Paulo Orlando is on base again. He's going to take an aggressive turn, as he always does. But Rosario gets it back to the infield. And Paulo's on with a game-opening single.
Nice start.
It has not been home sweet home for Tyler Duffey, our Toyota League leaders. Among pitchers with at least 10 starts at home, he has the highest ERA by far, 7.22. when he takes the mound at Target Field. He was started the season at AAA and called up at the end of April. 0-1 to Cheslor Cuthbert.
If that continues, the Royals score 7 runs, they'll win. If G can have any kind of a start at all and hold them down, they got a great offense. But look, that ERA at Target Field, that's not good for him and his teammates. Capitalize.
1-1 on Cheslor. One for 5 last night, Cheslor Cuthbert, and has an 8-game hitting streak. Royals had 3 stolen bases in last night's game. 3 stolen bases without a throw.
Yeah.
3 stand-up stolen bases.
Suzuki, you know, he hasn't had that great of numbers at all throwing guys out, that's for sure. It is 6 for 52, 11%. So why take the chance of throwing them away if you can't throw them out? Just let him have the bag. Expect him to go. That's it well.
And into the sun. Kepler is able to make the play. Paulo Orlando bluffs a tag and holds.
Hey, just got underneath that a little bit, but you know, Cheslor likes to drive the ball that way. Now Tyler Duffey, fastball, curveball, change, those are his 3 pitches. Now his curveball has been his go-to pitch. It's his strikeout pitch. He's comfortable with it ever since he's been a pitcher. He said his curveball has always been exceptional. It's right over the top, and it's one he'll use when he can get ahead of hitters. I mentioned 14 strikeouts in his last 12 innings, mainly with that pitch.
Lorenzo Cain scored 2 runs last night and stole a base. Missed a fastball at 90.
Now the stolen bases could be an issue with Tyler Duffey. He's extremely quick home. He's got good move to first base, very quick feet. You can see he's barely coming set before he goes home. Gonna try to help his catcher Suzuki the best he can.
A little bit inside. Kerwin Danley is tonight's home plate umpire. Also the crew chief in his 20th year as a big league umpire, and a former college player at San Diego State. And that's popped up to the right side. Dozier makes the play. 2 down.
Minnesota Twins defense hasn't been good. 124 errors this season. Hate to show those numbers, but it's the opponents and it's the truth.
That's more errors than games played.
Well, we witnessed that last night. Now Polanco is playing third base. There's no Plouffe. That ball that Salvi hit, that jam shot with the bases loaded, changed the complex of the game, and it should have been caught by Plouffe. He didn't turn and go to the ball. He backpedaled on it. That'll hurt you. And then Paulo's catches out there were the first outs of the inning. And they would have been extra bases had those went in there. So the fact that he caught those balls, it stymied any kind of rally for the team. That's how important defense is.
There's the curveball for a strike. Eric Hosmer drove in a run in the first inning last night. That was after a Trevor Plouffe error. So Plouffe had that misplay, and then he had an error in the first on a ground ball from Lorenzo Cain, and Eric Hosmer's double got him home. The Royals and the Twins are tied for the most runs allowed in the first inning, and we've been talking about that all year. So it's not just the Royals, but Minnesota, a last place team, has had a tough time keeping the opponents scoreless in the first. In the air to left field. Grossman waits and makes the play. Paulo Orlando has a leadoff single. The Royals are scoreless, and the Twins are coming up against Dylan G. Minnesota has had the most productive offense in the major league since the beginning of June, but they were held to 3 runs last night. Dylan G's been tough on right-hand batters recently, so Paul Molitor has a lineup that has just 3 right-hand batters in there tonight. And Dylan G is coming off a good start. Now, he pitched on Saturday in that 14-inning game. He got the win. He pitched the 13th and the 14th. And then a week ago Friday, his first quality start of the year. He held the Blue Jays to 3 runs in 6 innings. He walked 4. 2 of those turned into runs.
Yeah, no, he's understands that he's going to be getting those starts in that 5th spot as of late and recently here. Now, that's a double first pitch. Watch out.
Maybe not. Alex didn't quite get the bounce that he wanted or the throw he wanted, and Brian Dozier's at second base. 1 pitch into Dylan G's outing.
27th double for Dozier, and he pulled that, and they all know that Dylan G's first pitches are hittable, and they've been raking them, so he's sitting on it. Alex had to rush it. There was no chance. I thought he might get a good kick off that wall. Yeah, there we go. First pitches, they're almost hitting 500, so they're looking for that. They see those numbers too, so they're aggressive early. Dylan's going to have to mix them up on first pitches. Change
so
up.
If you're a hitter and you're looking at those numbers, what does that tell you? That a guy allows big numbers with an opponent's batting average for the first 2 pitches, and then it drops all the way down to 210 when he gets to his 3rd pitch.
So I'm aggressive early. I'm looking early. Doesn't mean I'm going to hit it. Oh, bad hop.
And the Twins will get a run out of it. 3 pitches Into the bottom of the first inning, and Minnesota leads 1-0.
Yeah, that ain't Haas up there. Just like we're talking about. You're gonna look early. Doesn't mean you're gonna swing, but you're looking to swing and be aggressive early in counts when you know he's gonna come right in there and he's not overpowering. Watch this hop. Look at that. You don't see that here in the big leagues very often. Especially early in the game when there's not a lot of torn up dirt in front of you. Well, all the cleat marks.
They have just called it a base hit. So it's a base hit and an RBI for Grossman.
And it should have been. That's clearly a bad hop. Mauer 4 for 7 in his career against G. Outfielders having to deal with the issues of a 6 o'clock start here at Target. And that's bright sun in Paulo Orlando's face out there in center. Locane's just on the edge of the shadow up there and right. Infielders early, you're gonna have to deal with it. The line drives are the ones that they can lose it in. High fly balls get up out of the sun.
1-2 on Mauer. He was 0 for 4 last night. Breaking ball in on him. Mauer strikes out, 1 away.
That's a good spot there. Royals defense sponsored by Ford. Paulo Orlando, we got to highlight him because he's been outstanding. I mean, he's been fun watching, get jumps on balls. 11+ defensive runs saved. He's one of the best in the American League. He's shown it, and the reason that he's staying in center field is because he looks comfortable. Lorenzo Cain, a little less stress on his legs out there in right. There's not much falling out there. Big help to the pitching staff.
You were down sitting with us during my radio interview with Ned Yost. And with all the things that this Royals team has done, and we've been, wow, look at Eric Hosmer. Wow, look at Mike Moustakas. Look at that play that Alcides Escobar made. Sano takes strike 1. Ned got a chance to see those guys in the minor leagues before he became Royals manager. So in his mind, he's not surprised by a lot of their success. But he admitted to us before the game that he missed on Paulo Orlando. He did not think that in this short period of a time that Paulo Orlando could be playing the way he is right now, offensively and defensively.
He's carrying himself like he's an established player, been in the big leagues for a long time, and really this is just his second season up here. 595 career games in center field. He's very comfortable there. Playing Sano to pull.
Bad swing, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So this ballpark faces directly east. Typically ballparks face north, northwest, but it's clear that that sun is setting directly behind us. Usually those shadows work their way from the third base and left field side.
Right. Uh-oh.
Didn't mean to do it, but it's still a balk. Dylan G had that happen to him in Chicago, remember?
Yeah, and he fell down. This one here, just a spike got caught in the dirt. So he'll make a little adjustments. Let's see what it was. It was his leg that stands on the slab. It's right foot.
That got Kerwin Danley.
Well, that's not the first time he's taken one. Now you wonder where he got that. I'm not sure exactly. Says that hurt. Dylan, can you take a little off that pitch, please? Got him on the hand. Left hand. It's exposed right there. Ouch. So we couldn't see it behind the batter.
Those two could talk a lot about getting hit by foul balls.
Sure could.
Balls in the dirt. Two and two on Sano. He had one of the 2 Minnesota home runs last night. Minnesota had 3 hits in the first 3 innings against Yordano Ventura. 3 extra base hits, 2 home runs. But in innings 4 through 9, they had 2 singles and a walk. Ventura, Strom, and Soria shut him down in the last 6 innings. Still 2 and 2. And that's an accomplishment against this Minnesota offense. Our Kubota power stats going back to July 1st. These are major league ranks. Minnesota scoring the most runs per game, tied for the most home runs, and the highest slugging percentage, which says a lot because this is not a hitter-friendly ballpark.
Yeah, that's August 13th. They've been doing it every night. Ooh, nice spot. Gee, he really pitched Sano well. He hit some really good pitches, good spots on the corners. His command looking good so far. Outside of Dozier and Grossman, the first 2 hitters in the lineup. Look at that. Great placement down low with the change. That's what he's going to have to start. Look at all those pitches in that grid right there. They were all down low, out of the zone. For a power hitter like that, that's right where you want to put it.
Fouled away by Max Kepler, and he's been right in the middle of all those offensive numbers for the Twins going back to early July. Last night 1 for 4 with a single. Slider is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Salvi with that low target, and it is low, and Hosmer gets another wicked hop, but he handles this one and takes care of Kepler. Minnesota gets a double from Dozier, a bad hop RBI single from Grossman, and take a 1-0 lead.
Oh man, that's some bad hops over there, Haas. Watch your lips.
Royals still won, so his or her mere presence still resulted in a victory. The Royals are 5-1 since The Rally Mantis arrived at the Royals dugout at Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, it's not known yet if they're going to have any kind of a ceremony for him after this game. But look, he worked. I'm sure they can find another replacement if they really wanted to.
Danny Duffy posted a memorial video on, was it Twitter or Instagram? 1 ball, 1 strike on Kendrys Morales. On Dylan G's Twitter account, but a video produced by Danny Duffy. It's worth watching. 1 and 2 on Kendrys.
I'm sure it is. I'd like to see it. Billy Burns, a little bit disappointed in his buddy, but you know what though? It worked. It was fun. Fans got into it. That's what it's all about. It's almost like the barbecue and barbecue sauce in 13 with Billy. Remember? And they had fun with that. They brought the sauce out. They threw it on Hosmer after that walk-off hit he got, you know, and then next thing
his mom thought his head had been split open during the celebration.
And
remember
we did
that?
too,
Yep.
yeah, because it was all live. We were wondering what was going on. But it's fun. And just maybe can get them back into this race.
Morales just got a piece of that pitch. He was perfect at the plate last night. 2 walks, a single, and a home run. And that was in the 7th inning last night against lefty Pat Dean.
I like how he let that ball travel deep, made some contact with the ball just over the back of the plate.
To left field and right at Grossman. Tyler Duffy is out of the Minnesota system. 5th round pick in 2012 out of Rice University. Very fiery on the mound. Does this remind you of another Duffy? Fiery on the mound, and at times his emotions can get the best of him. Something he's had to manage at the major league level.
And being a starter, he'll get plenty of opportunities here with the Twins. There's really only one guy on that starting rotation that players can go to the ballpark thinking we got a chance tonight. That's Irvin Santana. The other guys are driving to the park going, well, I wonder what we're going to get tonight. And believe me, that's a lot in this game of baseball you play every day. It's your starting pitcher. Everything revolves around it. Do you have confidence in him? It's like when the players are coming to the ballpark when Duffy's pitching, like, all right, we're going to win. We're going to get the series.
Right.
So that's the right mental attitude you want. That positive mojo working. This young man here has got a chance. It's just going to take him some time.
Isn't it amazing too that if you'd never watched the Royals before this year and you watch Danny Duffy this season, he has done so many things better this year that if you had heard about emotions getting the best of him, throwing too many pitches, too many 3-ball counts. Salvador Perez is down on strikes. He does none of that now.
Nope. He's found himself, and he's had a lot of help, and that's what I love about listening to him talk. He's free. He talks about Dave Island, how he's really helped him with his mechanics, going from the stretch every time, the slide step, the 3 pitches he's throwing out of that slide step, and you know the mental work as well.
By the way, Danny Duffy pitches Tuesday in Detroit against Justin Verlander.
Nice. Our best against theirs.
0-1 on Alex. Broke his bat, and it's down for a base hit. Alex was 1 for 4 with a run scored last night and singles in his first at bat tonight.
Yep, it's out over the middle of the plate. Hits it off the end. It's all right. Got some elevation on it.
Alcides Escobar had a 2-hit game last night and a run scored. He is still the Royals' good luck charm when he scores a run. Whether he's batting leadoff, 9th, or 8th where he is tonight. When he scores a run, just one run, the Royals are 19 games above 500.
Got to get him on and in.
Lifted to left field. Escobar is out, called off by Grossman, and that's the inning. Royals have made 6 outs, 5 in the air against Tyler Duffy.
That is a good-looking moon. It looks like it wants to be full, but I don't think it's going to reach its full maturity tonight.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, possibly, but we won't see it because it's a day game, and we'll be on the plane flying to Detroit.
But the same moon will be in the sky when we get to Detroit.
I'm hoping.
No, it will be.
Okay.
Polanco, ground ball, base hit right field. Minnesota's had the leadoff man on in the first 2 innings. Brian Dozier doubled on Dylan G's first pitch tonight and then scored on a single from Robbie Grossman.
I heard that the moon won't be full till August 18th. But it's getting there.
Eduardo Escobar did not play last night. Down and away, ball 1. 6 of the 9 hitters tonight will hit left-handed against Dylan G. Dylan in his last 2 starts really given right-hand hitters a bad time. Even with Dozier's double tonight, right-handers are just 3 for their last 22.
He's getting some good breaking action on him. His sliders, he's hitting the corners and keeping it down, so they're not able to get a good barrel on it. Now, you leave it up, sliders up can be hit, but it's all about that command down in the zone. Changeup's been effective. We saw how he used that against the power hitter Sano last inning.
Two and one.
Eduardo Escobar, he wanted timeout. He took his hand off the bat while that pitch was coming. That's the freebie you want to throw right down the middle.
That'll be foul. Nice catch.
One-handed snag.
2-2. Sitting with some Royals fans. MASH baseball. Somebody who has the guts to wear a MASH baseball t-shirt to a big league game should be able to catch a foul ball with a bare hand.
Soft hands. Look at that. Took it right from that Twins fan that was standing there. This is glove hand too. That young man looks familiar. He might be from Kansas City, just doesn't have Kansas City swag on.
Salvador Perez wants Dylan G to shake off a couple. And Escobar's late on a fastball. I don't remember seeing that up until the last 3 or 4 years. A catcher telling a pitcher to shake off a sign, trying to get into the hitter's head.
Yeah, that happens. And it works. Believe me, that's you're looking, hitter's looking at the pitcher right now. Okay, he's trying to study. Now, once he comes set, he's watching that glove for any kind of movement. Now he's going to pick up the release point. Ooh, good spot. And it'll throw you off. Now, pitchers also throw off hitters by wiggling their glove and maybe if their fingers, their index fingers sticking out of the glove, they'll try to trick them any way they can. Stay down in the zone. He's going.
Still 3-2.
Good jump by Polanco. Everybody knows how great the Gold Glove Salvador Perez has thrown. He's thrown out 48% of runners this year, 25 of 52. Maybe just strike him out, throw him out.
Running again, and another foul ball. 5 foul balls in this at bat. Polanco has 2 stolen bases this year. Running again. Popped up. Alex brings it down, 1 away. Good timing for Alex to remind you that Thursdays at Kauffman Station is Gordo Nation. For only $35, you get a seat in left field, a limited edition Charlie Hustle brand t-shirt, and an Alex Gordon big head. For tickets, go to Royals.com/theme tickets. And the next Gordo Nation is coming up this upcoming Thursday against Minnesota. The Royals, after going to Detroit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have a brief 4-game homestand against the Twins and then back out on the road. Now right-hand hitting Kurt Suzuki. That changeup is high for ball 1.
The Twins will head out. They have an off day on Monday. They'll head out to Atlanta before they come to the K. But the Royals can stay in the Central here for the next 9 games, including tonight. That's good. They haven't pad that record. It's already been good in the Central. (26-16). Minnesota 14-27 in the Central. Not good. They're making G work, taxing his pitch count, fouling off pitches.
Mondesi wants it. And Kurt Suzuki is the second out.
Although, listen to Dave Island before the game talking about G in his last little relief stint where Ned Yost, just 3 days ago with that extra inning game where they run out of pitching, they threw G out there for a couple of innings and he got the win. He had 3 strikeouts. Said that was good for him. He said that it was good for him to face some live hitters instead of just going and throwing on the side. They skipped him because they had an off day on Monday. And, so far he looks pretty sharp. He's executing some pitches that are pretty good. They're just fouling off him.
Rosario with an inside-out swing, singles to left. Polanco will stop at second. 2 on, 2 out. Let's hear from Dave Island.
I think it was a good thing for him. It allowed him to go in there and face some hitters and stay sharp. He's been throwing the ball pretty well lately, and the last thing you want to do when a guy's throwing the ball well is give him an extended period off. So we feel it was a good thing for him, and kept him sharp somewhat, hopefully, and we expect good things out of him tonight.
And it was a good thing for the Royals because the Royals were down to Dylan G in that 14-inning game. He was scheduled to start the next night on Thursday, so he could have gone 5-6 innings if needed, but only went 2. He pitched the 13th and the 14th and ended up with the victory. Two balls, no strikes. Minnesota has 4 hits in the first 2 innings, and going back to your scouting report before the game started, once you get to pitch 3, where Dozier is now, 3 and beyond, that opponent's average drops down over 200 points. 2-1.
Hitters are always aggressive. They want us to be aggressive early. It depends on what kind of hitter you are. Most of our Royals are anyway, but the opponents, they saw that stat and they said, all right, we're swinging early.
Dozier has struck out 81 times this year, second most on the Twins. Dylan G has struck out 2 tonight. Changeup stayed inside, 3-2. Runners go.
Oh,
just outside.
That hurt him there. That was a good pitch. He had him set up for it. The changeup inside missed off the plate, almost hit him, and then you could see that this one was coming. Good spot, and just didn't get it called. Twins with him loaded this year, just hit 205.
Robbie Grossman swing to the first pitch and fouls it away. He hit a ground ball to Hosmer in the first inning, and after a wicked hop, the ball went off of Hosmer's wrist and into right field and scored Dozier. So he drove in the game's only run, and now has Polanco at third, Rosario at second, and Dozier at first. One and one.
Grossman wants to pull. And the changeup away can get a pop-up out of him. Good pitch there. Slider down.
Backdoor breaking ball. So it was a long inning, but in the end, Minnesota comes up empty. They leave the bases loaded.
Beautiful spot. Grossman got to go.
There on the other side, Royals looking for some offense, and they have been running lately. 10 stolen bases in the last 7 games, at least 1 in 6 of those 7s. Let's compare that, because they had a total of 14. That's it in the month of July. So what has changed? It's not suddenly a desire to run or make things happen. They would have liked to have done that in July, but talking to Rusty Kuntz, the base running coach, he said a lot of it is just getting the right guys on. And if you get Raul Mondesi on, if you get Paulo Orlando on, Lorenzo Cain came back and is now healthy. That's some of the opportunity that they are getting. Oftentimes it's pitchers matchup and how quick that pitcher is to the plate, how slow the catcher is. So it's been opportunity, it's been having the right guys on, and then that adds to the opportunity. They're not going to get that here with Raul Mondesi striking out. Royals, though, still 3rd in the American League, tied with Minnesota in stolen bases. We're seeing that part of the game come back lately, Hud.
Well, that's good to see it, too. And you're right, Joel, to have the Rabbits, that's important. But the league has adjusted well to the Rabbits. They're shortening their stride home. Like today, this young man right here who's pitching, Tyler Duffy, he's really quick home, and you know it's going to be hard to straight steal off of him. I could maybe try a hit and run or something, but if they're not just going to run into outs, you get a pitcher who goes quick to home. You know, you're not going to just run for the sake of running.
Paulo didn't mean to do it. No balls, 2 strikes. He opened the game with a single to center field. That is from the reflection of the sun. Back-to-back 3-pitch strikeouts. So there you go. The sun is actually in front of Duffy, but it's reflecting off the glass in downtown, which is casting a shadow opposite of the sun.
How about that?
So 6 pitches, all strikes, 2 strikeouts, and now low to Cheslor Cuthbert. He flied out to deep right field in the 1st inning.
He's got the curveball working.
Royals ended up last night scoring 6 runs against Kyle Gibson in 5 innings, but had some trouble with his breaking ball. That's into deep left center field, and that is into the bullpen. Cheslor Cuthbert That is his 10th home run of the year, and it ties the game at 1. And there are no cheapies to that part of the ballpark at Target Field.
And it was a no-doubter. When that ball left his bat, I could hear it all the way up here, the sound. Well connected. We'll have to see what pitch that was. But look, there was no doubt to bring a smile to his face, and all the Royals fans that are here at Target Field brought them off their feet. That light's really weird how that light's coming in off that building from downtown. But there was always a fastball. Tried to get it in on him, and you can't sneak a piece of cheese by Chesler. Got him. Oh, you could tell he got the backspin on it. Nice, confident trot.
Two and one on Kane.
I just don't know how they do it, but they all got different handshakes. Part of the fun. These guys are relaxed. I'm telling you, you play relaxed, you play confident, you get some good starting pitching. The defense is a given. They're gonna get back to 500. I see it coming.
On the ground is short. Escobar throws out Kane. The Royals get a 2-out home run from Chesler Cuthbert. And in his first at bat, he flied to the warning track in right field. Chesler Cuthbert homers with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. Brian Dozier led off the first with a double and scored on a base hit from Robbie Grossman. Cuthbert to, well, it's either here or Yankee Stadium, the deepest left center field in the American League. Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano, and Max Kepler in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Dylan G struck out Mauer first time up, and a slow curveball is in for a strike. Oh, and 2.
Geez, he's mixing up his pitches a lot more now, and in this as the game is evolving, and that's good. He's not just sitting there trying to get that fastball over, being a typical pitcher. He's got 4, but not one is an overpowering pitch. So he's got to be able to finesse and keep the ball down and off the plate. Another good pitch. His slider's been working good down. His changeup's been effective, and he looks confident. Body language is important. We all know that, especially from that starting pitcher.
1-2 on Mauer.
Watching Mauer take batting practice today, he was rifling some shots over their flagpole, right field, pulling the ball for homers. And I was talking with Eddie Gordado, their bullpen catcher, catching up with him. He's a friend of mine. And I saw that and I go, wow, how come we don't see that from him more often? He says, I don't know, but when a game comes, he'll start hitting balls to left field. He just not comfortable pulling balls out of the park. They'd like to see that from him.
Well, and the reason why he got the big contract, one major reason why he got the big contract, was early in his career, he was a batting title guy, but didn't hit for a lot of power. And then in 2009, he misses the first month of the season and still hits 29 home runs. And it's like, okay, here we go. Now he's not just a batting title guy. Now he's a power guy, a run producing guy. And that happened to be the last season that they played at the Metrodome. And then it all changed when they moved outdoors here at Target Field.
Yeah, it did.
The prices didn't change, but the home run numbers did.
And his contract stayed the same. Numbers down.
Miguel Sano struck out on a changeup in the first inning. He cracked his bat. 2 down. Leaf Summit Mazda game break. All right, Alex Rodriguez has been released. So the Yankees brought up 2 prospects. Taylor Austin, that's a home run, or Tyler Austin, that's a home run in his first big league at bat. And then Aaron Judge follows him with a home run in his first big league at bat against Matt Andrews of the Tampa Bay Rays. So you talk about a passing of the torch. Immediately, Alex Rodriguez officially released today, and they bring up the 2 young guys, and for the first time in Major League history, 2 players hit home runs in their first Major League at bats back to back.
Boy, that's going to be news. And that kid, that last kid, he's like 6'7", 250. I mean, he's a big man. Prospect. And you know, with Cashman and all the trades they made, they got a lot of young players in return, so they'll be rebuilding. Good for them.
Max Kepler has a 2-out single.
I guess if you're a Yankee fan.
Well, I think they found, like other teams have, that long-term success comes from building from within, and with all the spending potential that they had, it wasn't winning them any more games.
You know, I think the new regime, Steinbrenner's son Howe, you know, they're more business people. They're taking a different approach than he used to. He used to buy all the free agents. But they're going to build from within, just like the Royals have done. They've grown them homegrown.
Jorge Polanco single to right in the second inning.
Homegrown talent is proven to win when you develop.
Well, when the Yankees had that great run, mid-90s to late 90s into 2001, Derek Jeter, Yankee. Andy Pettitte, Yankee. Jorge Posada, Yankee.
Bernie Williams,
Yankee. All from their system. That is a fair ball and an out and a scoreless third for Dylan G. And now Hosmer will trade his glove for a bat and a helmet and lead off the 4th inning. Hosmer, Morales, and Perez are coming up. Tied at 1 to the top of the 4th inning. Robbie Grossman has driven in a run for Minnesota. Chesler Cuthbert has a home run for the Royals.
Nice work on the sign, by the way.
Did you see the greater than symbol there?
I did. Yeah. I liked it. And they were proud of it, and they should be. Thanks for coming, and thanks for making the sign.
Royals Duffy greater than Twins Duffy.
I would agree. I'm sure Paul Molitor would too.
1-1 to Hosmer. He flied out to left field in the 1st inning. Up the middle, Escobar was right there. 1 away. One of the greatest players in University of Minnesota baseball history is here tonight, Hud, and he wasn't bad either.
That's right.
Our sprint trivia question.
You got that right. I'm sitting with the best one of them.
Name the 6 players with 3,000 career hits and 500 career stolen bases.
He had a little bit better pro career than you did. That's all.
Just a little bit. And
where's that camera coming from?
Almost got it through the overshift. By the way, here's my little trivia question for you. Name the only university that has 2 members of the 3,000 hit club.
Ooh.
Don't think too hard.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Yep.
Winning.
Yep. Paul Molitor, Dave Winfield. All right, Paul Molitor, Ricky Henderson.
How about Lou Brock?
That's 3.
Okay. How many more we need?
2. No, 3 more. 3 more. Tony Gwynn steal 500 bases? He stole some bases early in his career, though. I am told he did not.
How about
Craig Biggio? No. Robin Yount. Perez flies to center field. A quick top of the 4th inning for Tyler Duffy. Salvi is 0 for 2. Joel and Monty showed us how good the Royals starting pitching has been this month, and our University of Kansas Hospital injury report shows us that Mike Minor last night for AAA Omaha went 6 innings. He gave up 4 hits, a couple of earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts.
Okay, looking for him to come in and give him the Royals staff a boost. We'll have to be patient for that when that happens. But in the meantime, G is doing the best he can to try to hold those Twins down and keep that spot in on that fifth man rotation, 5 guy.
Left center field and in for a base hit in front of Alex Gordon. Eduardo Escobar is on to begin the 4th inning. All right, Hud, so with our trivia question, we have identified Paul Molitor, Ricky Henderson, Lou Brock, Ty Cobb.
Okay.
What about Ichiro Suzuki?
So we're naming guys with 3,000 hits and 500 steals. Okay, 6 players. How about Honus Wagner? Ding, 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 ding.
Strike to Kurt Suzuki. He popped to second in the 2nd inning. Do you like Ichiro for a guess?
Yes, but I don't think he's on there. Rod Carew?
Okay.
It's a good try.
Don't fall for that.
Yeah, they
fall
were
for
messing
that.
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Ooh.
That's into deep left center. And not deep enough. Escobar tags. And he'll advance on the long fly ball. So it's a productive out. Suzuki is 0 for 2.
Alex with an excellent job of getting to that ball. Paulo, he yielded to him. Gordon showing some athletic ability with his spin move. He's got a great ability to release the ball, and just a little bit off with his throw. He would have got it. But it's a good read by Escobar. Play was right in front of him.
Eddie Rosario with a runner at second base. He had a really good swing against Dylan G in the 2nd inning. Fastball in on him. If he tries to pull it, he probably breaks his bat and hits a ground ball to the right side, but stayed inside of it and lined to left field. Mondesi throws him out, 2 down. Escobar goes to 3rd.
Fans, make sure you come to the K next Saturday when the Royals host the Twins to get a Royals baseball cap, courtesy of KCP&L. The first 10,000 fans through the gates will receive an exclusive blue and white trucker cap. To get these tickets, visit royals.com/promotions. It's trucker's cap. 4-game homestand.
Look at that hat.
It's beautiful. Wow. Those folks picked a great weekend to come here. The weather's unbelievable.
78 degrees. First pitch last night. 79 tonight.
Walking to the ballpark today. Wow, there were Royals fans all down the streets of Minneapolis here. We met a couple of fans last night that drove up from Mission and Leawood. They said they had planned this trip for a long time because it was a weekend shot and they've been waiting to come to Target Field. They were excited. And you know, Rhino, they were Joel Goldberg fans. Now, I'm not surprised to hear that, but when they saw me, they said, "Where's Joel?" Tell you how
That's
popular
what everybody
I was.
says.
Yeah, exactly. Tell you how popular I was. I tried to get Joel there. I thought I had some power, but Joel blew me off. Blew us all off. Had other things to do.
That away, Joel.
Fans everywhere. He's got to appease them all. It's hard for him to spread himself out like that.
I just was surprised that's the first time you ever invited me out.
Now, Joel.
Just glad you can spread yourself out like that, Joel. Whatever that means.
I was hanging with Monty. Always trying to get some knowledge from Monty.
It's a good hanging partner.
Full count on Dozier. Well, it was the reverse when Minnesota was playing so well and winning all those division titles. Minnesota fans tired of the Metrodome. They'd come south on I-35, and they'd fill up Kauffman Stadium for a weekend series when they were winning 6 divisions over 9 years, their last one being 2010. Now it's the other way around. Right field, playable for Lorenzo Cain. So 2 batters into Dylan G's outing. He allows a run and nothing since. 1-1 tie at the end of 4.
Gordon comes to the plate looking for his second hit of the game. Had a long talk with Alex here in Minnesota just about his season, where he's at in the head right now, because we know that the numbers haven't been there. And he said, you know, at this point, no matter what I do numbers wise, it's not going to end as a good year. The numbers are not going to be good. I can't change that, so I can't dwell on it anymore. I can't think about it. So just find ways to help the team. Find ways to continue to work to get better, because even if he has the hottest final 6 weeks, it's not going to be a good numbers year. He's come to the realization, he knows that, been working with Dale Swayman in the cage on trying to just keep that bat in the zone longer and working on those type of things, and then just trying to do what he can, turn the page and focus then on next year. And so his attitude seems to be good, but he said, you know, even being a veteran and being a guy that's been around a long time and struggled as a young player, it's never easy, he said. Doesn't matter what kind of experience you have. It's been tough for him, and so just trying to turn the page and make the best of the situation at this point.
Yeah, he's got the right attitude. And it's not about him, it's about the team, but when you're all by yourself in that batter's box, and it's not easy to do. You get into whenever you start the season out slowly, and then he got injured, it was a tough recovery for him. Some fans tickled. They got a foul ball.
Two and two. Alex single to right in the second inning. A reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Still 2-2. Fastball up. Duffy's had some success tonight with his breaking ball down. That's his go-to pitch. Kyle Gibson gave the Royals a bad time last night with his breaking ball. And there it was. No swing, 3-2.
Good patience, lay off of it. Walker a knock. Let's get on base. You know, with Alex's wrist injury, you know, whenever a hitter has hand problems, and I mean, I'm not suggesting he's still hurt, but you know, I'm sure it would be known if it was still bothering him.
Well, there's a difference between being hurt and not being strong.
Yep.
Remember the conversation you had with George Springer of the Astros? Remember, he got hit by Edinson Volquez last year and broke his wrist and came back from it.
Yeah, and he said it took me a while to get my strength back. And it was the injury was healed, but my strength was not. I don't know.
Hands, fingers, wrists. Alex runs, and Minnesota. The ball ended up in the Minnesota dugout on a very late swing by Alcides Escobar. That went whistling right over Gene Glenn, the third base coach. Good thing he had his helmet on. Gene Glenn standing right next to Twins manager Paul Molitor, and that line drive went right over his head and down the stairs of the dugout. Not running, and now Escobar thinking about a bunt. 1-1.
Way quick home. Tyler Duffy, his slide step, he's 1-1, 1.2. It's gonna be hard to get a jump and steal off of him. So he's helping out Suzuki big time tonight. We're always gonna have to find the gap. Find the gap or find a shrub. Shrubs all around the outfield walls.
Bunted foul. That looked more like a base hit than a sacrifice. You are either sacrificing or you are bunting for a base hit. The in between usually doesn't work out.
Yeah, and you know he wanted to move more towards first base bag with that bunt and lean forward, but he kind of just held back on it and test the rookie Polanco at third base.
And that's past Escobar, the Twins Escobar. 2 on, nobody out. Base hit for Alcides. A leadoff walk and a single to begin the 5th inning.
And it's pretty predictable what's going to happen in this situation now. But look at Esky pulls his hands in. He hit the ball hard, had some topspin on it. A tough hop right in front of him, and again looked like it took a wicked hop. So there's been some bad bounces for the infielders here. Now top spin, you never know what it's going to do. He tried and missed. It's a base hit. Tough play. Escobar's talking about that big curve of his.
And how hard it is to bunt.
Right. So we'll see. Mondesi, perfect situation for him here to get one down, move the runners over.
Going to call that a foul ball. Suzuki thought he got it right off of the plate. 0-1 on Mondesi. And Mondesi there looked like he was in between a sacrifice and bunting for a base hit.
Yeah, Suzuki, he thought there was a third baseman there, but nobody was home. Yeah, you want to, if you're on a sacrifice, square earlier. He knows how to do that. One of the best bunters I've seen in this league in a long time. No shame in bunting for a base hit every time up. I mean, at least twice a game you should show it. Get on base. You're so good at it.
In the air, Suzuki will make the play, and again he was running and bunting.
Did the one thing you don't want to do when you're sacrificing, and you called it. He was moving. Squares around, that's good, but he was coming out a little bit, and he jabbed at it and got underneath it. Now Paulo's going to have to pick him up here, and he can do that with a nice line drive base hit. .352 average of the runner in scoring position. He's the right man.
That number leads the Royals. He singled to center in the first inning against Duffy, and then Duffy struck him out in the third. Escobar, very good play, out at second, and a double play. So the missed bunt was a killer, and the Twins get out of it without allowing a run.
Nice play.
A lot of that going on this weekend in the land of 10,000 lakes, Minnesota. Tied at 1, bottom of the 5th inning. Robbie Grossman leads off. He drove in the Minnesota run in the first inning with a bad hop single to right field. Grossman, Mauer, and Sano coming up.
Are there really 10,000 lakes here?
There are probably more than 10,000 lakes. But Grossman, that would be in a lake if we were at Kauffman Stadium, or at least in the fountains. Robbie Grossman has driven in both runs for Minnesota, and they lead 2-1 in the 5th inning.
No doubter. Left-handers love it right down there. That's their sweet spot. He just turned on it, didn't have to do a whole lot. Just let the bat head get that backspin on it. Is out of here. Grossman's 8th.
Strike to Mauer. He is 0 for 2 against Dylan G tonight. And a base hit into center field. 2 hard hit balls for Minnesota to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. 8 hits for Minnesota in 4+ innings. Miguel Sano is struck out and grounded out to short. His strikeout was his 125th of the year. And we still have a month and a half to go.
And you know, while Trevor Plouffe was nursing his rib injury, they were playing him at third base and it just wasn't working out. So he had trouble in right field early, trouble at third base. He's made 15 errors. But he can hit, so they might have found themselves a full-time DH. They were hoping he would be a better third baseman, but it just hasn't worked so far. I mean, he's still young, but he's going to have to really work at it. He's going to have to practice off-season, maybe go play some ball somewhere if they want him to become an everyday solid third baseman.
The thinking would be that he's just too young to be limited to a DH.
Yes.
The right field experiment, I don't think anyone really expected that to work out long term, or really maybe even work out this year, but just a way to get him on the field and not have him sitting and possibly stewing in between at bats if he's the designated hitter. At least put him in on the outfield. He can make a play and get over a bad at bat.
This is where the desire of the individual player comes out. Do you really want to become the best you can become? And you have to work at it. You have to have that desire and the will to do it. Nice pitch there. He just challenged him. Join your fellow Star Wars fans for Star Wars Day at the K on Sunday, September 18th versus the Chicago White Sox. Dress up as your favorite Star Wars character and enjoy Star Wars themed entertainment at the K. Make sure to purchase a themed ticket package to receive the exclusive Eric Hosmer X-Wing pilot bobblehead. Look at that. Looking good. Purchase those tickets. Visit Royals.com/theme tickets.
And that looked like him.
Did
you hear the other night at Fenway Park they had a David Ortiz bobblehead giveaway, but the bobbleheads arrived, they opened the boxes and looked at him, and they must have been really bad because they canceled the bobblehead night.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, it's got the Haas haircut in there and everything. I like it.
Max Kepler is 1 for 2. Down on strikes and 5 for Dylan G. And now Jorge Polanco, he is singled to right and grounded out to first.
His 13-game hitting streak in last night. He's hit 377 during that time, 20 for 53. They're liking him. They're staying with him. It's always nice to get a guy that has a little bit of offensive threat there as an infielder. Infielders are a dime a dozen. You can find them anywhere. It's the guy that has the ability to hit up here that's going to stay in this league. That's the whole difference in this league. Got to be able to hack and hit.
Think of all the shortstops Minnesota's gone through lately. They had J.J. Hardy, whom they got from a trade with the Milwaukee Brewers, and that's who they had here in the first 2 seasons at Target Field, and they felt like they had some depth. So he was traded away to Baltimore. He's still playing. He's still a productive player, and Minnesota's just gone through one shortstop after another. Dylan G ends up striking out the side. Robbie Grossman homers. And at the end of 5, Minnesota has a 2-1 lead. In downtown Minneapolis, 79 degrees at first pitch. Minnesota scored in the first inning. Cheslor Cuthbert tied the game in the third with a home run, and Robbie Grossman just homered in the bottom of the 5th inning to put Minnesota in front. And now Cuthbert leads off against Tyler Duffy. Here's the Ram drive of the game back in the 3rd.
Yep, put it on the inner half, and Cuthbert had the barrel of that bat waiting for it. 10th homer.
In his first at bat, he flied out to deep right field. We were talking about Cheslor last night and his ability to hit the ball to all fields. So he's tough to defend. No overshifts when he's at the plate. No real shift at all. Maybe the second baseman Dozier.
Yeah, a little bit to pull there on in the hole, but really they're just taking a chance. And he's been trying to go in there. And Cheslor let him know that if you do leave it up, I'm going to take you deep. But he does a great job of staying in the middle of the field. Sees a lot of pitches.
Full count.
We'll show you where Cheslor's been getting his hits. Not as dramatic as Paulo, but a lot of them right there in the middle. He does a great job of taking that bottom hand right to the ball.
Ooh. Can't hit it any harder than that. 1 away. Tonight's contestant in the Sonic Slam inning is Ryan Fenwick from Lee Summit. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning out of the ballpark, Ryan wins $1,400. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Ryan wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals. Kane got a fastball up. He has popped to second and grounded out to short against Tyler Duffy. One and two. We showed you in the first inning, Duffy pitched well in his last start Monday against Houston. That's a good offense. Before that, he had 3 consecutive starts allowing 5 runs or more. Up the middle. Dozier gets to it and throws just in time. 2 away. And his ERA was just under 6 going into tonight's game. Here's a look at tonight's greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Cubs' 11-game winning streak comes to an end today as they lose to the Cardinals. Jonathan Papelbon released by the Nationals. The Nationals had picked up Mark Melancon from the Pirates before the trading deadline. And Jonathan Lucroy, who voided a trade to the Cleveland Indians and then was traded to the Texas Rangers. He did not have the ability to veto that trade, and he's been a big lift to their offense.
Sure has. Now, I could tell when Washington came to the K earlier in the season and the Royals, they got to Papelbon, that he just didn't have that good fastball to get it by anybody anymore, and he had asked for his release. The organization, they granted it to him.
With 2 strikes, the Twins put 3 infielders on the right side. One and 2. Shifting over the third baseman Polanco just to the right of second base.
Yeah, they moved him over, and and the pitcher had to wait for him. Sometimes that'll mess with a pitcher. He's got to wait for the defense to move. It takes his focus away.
Another strikeout with a breaking ball. That is 4 for Tyler Duffy, who's held the Royals to 1 run in 6 innings.
Royals baseball is brought to you by Chrysler. Enjoy your summer in style with great deals at the Chrysler Summer Clearance Event.
Bottom of the 6th, Minnesota leads 2-1. Dylan G has allowed 2 runs, 8 hits. Robbie Grossman has driven in both runs for Minnesota with a single in the 1st inning and a home run in the 5th. Royals got their run on a Chesler Cuthbert home run in the 3rd. 2-0 on Eduardo Escobar. He has flied to left and singled to left. Lower 3rd of the order is coming up. Escobar, Suzuki, and Rosario. 3-0. 87 pitches for Dylan G. And they're going to work now in the Royals bullpen. Three and 1. Brian Flynn, and Peter Moylan. Escobar tried to muscle up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He has hit 5 home runs this year. Paulo Orlando over from center field, makes the play, 1 down. Let's answer our sprint trivia question. We started with 6, but now name the 7 players with 3,000 career hits and 500 stolen bases. Okay, we have 6, we believe. Paul Molitor, Ricky Henderson, Lou Brock, Ty Cobb, Ichiro Suzuki, and Honus Wagner. We need 1 more, Head. I think the hint is we got to go way, way back.
It's not much of a hint.
Shallow center, base hit for Kurt Suzuki. He's 1 for 3.
Game's 140 years old.
Well, we got 6. Eddie Collins.
Couldn't have got it. They got us.
What do Ichiro Suzuki and Paul Molitor have in common with their 3,000th hit?
Both hit triples.
Yep. And Paul Molitor hit his at Kauffman Stadium. A triple against Jose Rosado, I believe. And became the first player in Major League history to get a triple for his 3,000 hit. And then Ichiro Suzuki this year at Colorado. That's well hit. Deep left center field. And Eddie Rosario goes opposite field. And Minnesota's lead is 4-1.
Yeah, pitch up in the zone, just real nice, easy. Okay, he didn't try to do it, but caught it perfectly. Good swing, under control, showing some opposite field power. His 8th. So Robbie Grossman earlier in the 5th inning, leading off, hit his 8th. Rosario got his 8th.
Minnesota scored 7 runs in the first 2 games of the series, and 6 of the 7 have come on home runs. Dozier hit a 2-run home run last night. Wow.
Yeah, another one right down the middle. Good feeling for a hitter. And no doubter, almost reached the upper tier.
Brian Flynn with Robbie Grossman coming up is a Chevy call to the bullpen. To you by your local Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Visit for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. By Panera Bread, food as it should be with 24 KC Metro locations. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. Brian Dozier has hit 25 home runs this year, 4 of those against the Royals. Robbie Grossman, a switch hitter, moves over to the right side. Last year, Brian Dozier hit 28 home runs and 0 against the Royals. So that was a career high 28. He's on his way to shattering that this year with 25, and the home run that he hit in this inning was number 100 in his career.
He's got some super pop, especially on that inner half and out over the middle. A couple of cookies in that inning.
So now Minnesota scored 7 of its 8 runs in this series on home runs. So much for this not being a home run hitting ballpark.
Yeah.
It's been a tough year for Paul Molitor, especially after a winning season last year. That's out into right center field. Kane is going to cut it off deep, and Grossman will hold with a single. Remember, the Royals finished the regular season here in Minnesota last year, and they swept Minnesota and knocked them out of playoff contention. Minnesota went into the final series of the season with an outside chance of winning a wild card spot, so you can imagine the expectations. But they are 24 games below 500.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good year. Their pitching's been suspect, and their defense.
Dylan G got the first out. He got Eduardo Escobar on a fly ball to center field, but now a single, a home run, another home run, and now a single against Brian Flynn, and he throws ball 1 to Joe Mauer.
Flynn has a fastball, slider, occasional changeups.
Fouled away, 1-1. Phillips 66 shows us what's in the tank. And with Luke Hochevar done for the year, Wade Davis on the disabled list, the bullpen has held its own over the past week. A 1.96 ERA and a 1.97 opponent's batting average. 1-2 on Joe Mauer.
Flynn's done a good job against lefties. He's hitting 191 off of him with a couple of homers. There's that bat. Hit his 100th home run. Getting authenticated.
Over that stretch, with the numbers we just showed you, 1.96 ERA given up by the Royals bullpen. That's 4 runs and 3 allowed by Kelvin Herrera. So the other guys have done their job. Three and 2.
Mauer's got a good eye. He leads his team in walks with 64. He's got good plate discipline.
Runner was going. That's ball 4. So after 1 out, the next 5 have reached. And Flynn will get Miguel Sano. Ned Yost did have Peter Moylan warming up in the bullpen. Sano was 0 for 3 against Dylan G with 2 strikeouts. Grossman's at second base, Mauer's at first.
Could use a nice little ground ball, a little 6-4-3.
Over the outside, strike one. Here's your ground ball. Escobar with a diving play, and the Royals do not turn it into a double play. They might want to take another look. But that certainly saved a run. It is an out at second base for the moment. And Ned Yost wants Bill Duplessis to take another look in the Royals clubhouse.
Okay. Mondesi didn't get a lot on the throw. He was off balance, and he just kind of feathered it over there. I don't know. That's going to be. Looks like he might have beat that. Good hustle.
No challenge.
Yeah.
And now first and third for Max Kepler. Yep. Good call by first base umpire Paul Nart. Kepler is 1 for 3. On the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. That's into deep center field. Paulo Orlando is at the track and has just enough room to end the inning. It was a noisy bottom of the 6th inning. Minnesota hits 2 home runs. Brian Dozier hits his 100th career home run, and Minnesota leads by 4.
Earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And unfortunately for Dylan G, not one of his better outings. It's the second time this year he's given up 3 home runs, and the last time was against Minnesota back in May. There's a couple of balls that were right down the middle of the plate.
So Tyler Duffy, who's pitched well tonight, pitches with a 4-run lead. That was his 80th pitch. The Royals have 1 run, 4 hits. Chesler Cuthbert is homered tonight. Morales is a tough luck 0 for 2. He is lined to left and grounded hard to third.
He's done a great job, just like he did in his last start against Houston. We were talking about how he's able to shut down their powerful offense. That just missed. But he was able to, he's doing what he did then. He was staying back over the pitching rubber and had good command with his fastball in that outing against Houston. And now he's doing the same thing. He's able to repeat it, and he's getting some run support. Curveball's working nicely again.
Still 1-2.
Such an advantage to be able to be a switch hitter. Ball coming into you, so easy to hit. Or not easy, but it's easier to hit coming into you than it is going away. Ooh. So the shock value worked with that one. Hard heater up and in on it.
Number 5 for Duffy. Panera takes us around the league. Toronto beats Houston. Toronto was a half game back of Baltimore going into today. Miami leads Chicago. Chicago won the first game of that series last night. A delay in Cleveland with the Angels. And Detroit is just getting started with Texas. Tigers are 5 games in front of the Royals in the Central. And that's where the Royals head after this series here, which concludes tomorrow afternoon. Salvador Perez is struck out and flied out to center field. There are the updated standings. Royals are 3 games under 500. Well hit into right center field. Rosario was shallow, and that's high off the wall. Salvador Perez has a 1-out double.
23rd on the year. That's exactly before the game what he said he was going to try to do today. He says, I'm going to try to hit that ball in the shrubs in right center field. Now he just missed that. But it's a good job. He's waiting on it. He knows last night that he was pulling off the ball a little, but he loved that broken bat. Bases loaded 2 RBI single he got. Now this one here was hit midway up the wall. Good stroke. And you do that in batting practice. And you hit that ball, and I watched him, and he hit. He said, I'm not going to pull one ball in batting practice today. And I watched him, and he did a good job. And so what that does is it gets you your mindset right to try to recognize that pitch that's middle away and keep the hands in.
Salvi has the highest slugging percentage of any visiting player at Target Field. Second most home runs of any visiting player. Alex has singled to right and walked. Salvador Perez and some big boppers. Tommy, Cabrera, Longoria, Martinez.
Pretty good company.
And it's a pretty wide gap. Now Tommy, that includes not just visiting players, but players who played for the Twins.
I wonder when Tommy's eligible for the Hall of Fame. Should be coming pretty soon.
Still 2-2.
Tommy will be eligible for the Hall of Fame in 18.
Struck him out with a breaking ball. That's 6 for Tyler Duffy.
The Royals and Fox Sports Kansas City are offering a unique way for fans across the Midwest to enjoy a game at Kauffman Stadium. It's the Forever Royals Fan Express. Fans at designated markets will have the opportunity to win a trip to the K. Final stop is August 20th in Des Moines. Go to Royals.com/Fan Express for more information. All aboard. Royals fans not looking a little bit dejected tonight.
A lot more to cheer about last night.
I'd like to get into that Twins bullpen. Is what they want to do. Bunch some hits together here.
And they're going to work in that bullpen. The right-hander is Ryan Presley, and the left-hander is Taylor Rogers. One ball, one strike. Two and one on Escobar. Pitch number 97. Out of play, 2-2. All 5 runs charged to Dylan G in 5 1/3 innings. 3 home runs. Escobar shoots it up the line, and that'll get a run home. Close to fan interference. First base umpire Paul Nart says no interference. Little guy tried to reach over with his glove. So it's 5-2, and now Escobar's in scoring position.
Wow, this game was well within reach here. Nice booty knock there. And Escobar, he is the king of the booty knock for sure. He's off balance a lot, but man, when his backside falls out, watch his head positions. Always there. That backside. Look at his eyes. He's looking right at that ball. It's a really nice piece of hitting right there. He kept his head down on it and sliced it down that line for his 15th double. Picked up a ribby. He'll take it. It's 31st.
Breaking ball strike to Mondesi. Big play, big out for Duffy tonight. Back in the 5th inning, the Royals had 2 on, nobody out in a 1-1 game, and Mondesi popped up a sacrifice bunt. So no advance, and then Paulo Orlando hit a ball hard up the middle, and Minnesota made a good play and turned it into a double play. If he gets the bunt down, that ground ball scores a run, and the Royals are still hitting. So that was maybe the biggest out so far tonight for Duffy. And now Mondesi's down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. 100 pitches for Duffy. He has averaged about 86 per start. This is his longest inning, 21 pitches. He has struck out 6. Blocked by Suzuki, 1-2.
Kerwin Danley needs a towel.
Got some perspiration in his eyes he couldn't see.
Yeah. Can't have that.
Yep.
It's important he sees.
Yep. Which leads to the oldest insult toward an umpire.
That's right.
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
See, Kerwin's wearing one of those new helmets that have shock absorbers on the side of the helmet. You see those shock absorbers right there. And whenever the ball hits there, it compresses and it absorbs the blow. So they're doing all they can to try to stay away from those concussions for umpires and catchers.
Going to be a tough play. And they got him. Minnesota's had an awful year defensively, but you couldn't tell tonight. They made some big plays behind Tyler Duffy.
Sure have. This is exceptional here. Look at that. All the catch and throw up the right leg. Polanco, beautiful.
Seventh inning, and now the Royals are down by 3. The traveling Hall of Fame tour, We Are Baseball, is open through next Sunday in the Kauffman Stadium parking lot. This exhibit features artifacts like Jackie Robinson's World Series cap, Babe Ruth's 714th home run ball, plus take in a custom IMAX movie, a cutting-edge virtual reality experience. You can design your personal Hall of Fame plaque. Just show your Royals ticket at the tour box office and receive a $10 adult ticket and 2 free children tickets. The Hall of Fame tour in Lot A at Kauffman Stadium. Oh, and 2 on Jorge Polanco, who just made a very good play on a ground ball hit by Raul Mondesi for the final out of the top of the 7th inning. On the ground to Cuthbert. Just in time. Polanco is 1 for 4. Eduardo Escobar comes to the plate. Escobar's made one of the nice defensive plays for the Twins tonight. Royals had runners at first and second in the 5th inning. Paul Orlando hit a ball hard up the middle, and Escobar made a dive, or ran to the middle, I should say, and not only kept the ball from going into center field, but started a double play. And now Escobar throws out Escobar. 2 down. So the Royals third baseman has thrown out the Twins third baseman. The Royals shortstop has thrown out the Twins shortstop. So how is Salvador Perez going to get Kurt Suzuki out for the final out of the inning. Will pop up.
That's possible. I don't know.
Of course, Salvi would get a put out if there was a strikeout.
Watching Escobar play shortstop is fun, man. This guy, he's so fundamentally sound. I love his arm slot. You know, he stays on top with every throw, even those acrobatic off-balance throws to his left, to his right. In the arm slot, you never see him throw from the side. He understands the importance of the ball staying straight. And Hosmer appreciates it. The ball, when you drop your arm angle, it sails it. The ball tails and moves away. There's not enough arm strength to get the ball all that way across the diamond. So he understands that. Just won his first Gold Glove after his brilliant season last year. Now, will he keep it this year? I don't know. A lot of good shortstops in the league. You got to be really proud to wear a Gold Glove if you're a shortstop in this league. Watch this last night. They in the game. On top with the arm slot once again. Watch this one. There it is. Look at that. Just so quick, so athletic. Is light on his feet. He went out and gave Lorenzo O'Kane a high five in right field.
A ballerina.
Yeah.
On spikes.
That's right.
Or I should say a ballet dancer.
That's right. He understands. Dan Gladden, their radio guy here in Minnesota, he was wanting to know how they could get him. I said, you're not getting Escobar. There's a rare little sidearm flip there, but he's coming in on the ball.
He knew he had time.
That's right. Can't have him. He's ours.
Royals baseball is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit your MidwestFordDealers.com. Great weather night. Royals are down by 3 with 6 outs to go on offense, and they are into the Minnesota bullpen. Tyler Duffy, for just the 7th time in his career, pitches 7 innings, and he hands a 3-run lead to the bullpen. Ryan Presley will get the Royals top of the order.
Royals will be looking at a fastball, low to mid-90s curveball changeup guy. He's a veteran reliever.
Ball 1 to Paulo Orlando. He is 1 for 3 tonight with a first inning single. Also lost a hit on a very good play by the Minnesota shortstop Eduardo Escobar in the 5th. Line base hit center field. 2 more hits for Paulo Orlando.
Okay, Paulo Orlando. Hey, so you know, I went in between in the commercial break here, I went over to Gladden and I said, hey, Gladden, okay, you guys want Escobar? It was his little broadcast deal we were trying to make. I said, you want Escobar? We'll take Kepler, your rookie right fielder that can hit for power. And he goes, no way. Escobar is going to be a free agent after next year, and our guy's controllable. You got to throw in Cuthbert. I said, we're not giving you Cuthbert and Escobar. It's our whole left side of the infield. So then he goes, okay, we'll take Paulo. I said, no, you can't have him either. So I wasn't making that deal.
They want to throw in 7,000 lakes.
Yeah, Corey Provis and Dan Gladden, they ran me out of their booth with their offer, with their comeback. I didn't like it. I left.
Heck of an effort, though, Hud.
We're just having fun. Dan Gladden and I go way back to Fresno State, a long time ago, when he was a player for Bob Bennett and the Bulldogs. Oh, man. How'd that mask work there? Oh, that got him. Looked like it was off of his mask. Suzuki, looking at that shot right there, he's got a little hinge on his mask too.
Oh man, right in the center of the mask. Where are you? What's your name? What did you have for breakfast? Who's playing tonight?
I remember all
basic
those
questions, right?
Yeah, but I remember those too. Those, you have to do those because you never know. Glad he's all right. But did you notice Kurt Suzuki's helmet had a couple of springs on both sides of his too? That's the first I've seen. I'll have to go down and check his out. It's a good idea. Anything that can help.
Chesler's 1 for 3 with a home run. He's hit the ball hard all 3 times he's been to the plate. Bobbled by Presley. 2 on, nobody out.
Oh, you know what happens when the opponents miscue. That's the opportunity the Royals like to take advantage of. See if they can get back in this game with a big hit here now. Cuthbert running hard. Presley looked up and forgot one thing. He's got to be able to see that ball into his glove and pick it up, but he wasn't watching it.
That ball had a lot of side spin on it.
Sure did.
You think that had something to do with it?
Oh, absolutely. That's why it's even more important that you make sure you catch that ball first and then get rid of it. He had plenty of time. He tried to rush it.
Royals down by 3. 8th inning, tying run at the plate with nobody out. Lorenzo Cain was 0 for 3 against Tyler Duffy. Off the netting in front of the Minnesota dugout. So 0 for 3 tonight, but against this pitcher, 4 out of 6. We'd like to have that pitch back. Infield fly rule as Mauer makes a play in shallow right field.
Try to pull it.
Eric Hosmer is 0 for 3 tonight. Back to the mound. And the Royals are scoreless. They had 2 on and nobody out. That's the second time tonight the Royals have started an inning with 2 on and nobody out, with the inning ending in a double play. Minnesota gets out of it. 5-2 Twins to the bottom of the 8th, and a Lee Summit Mazda game break. Rogers center, and Russell Martin to straightaway center field. A 3-run home run. Toronto would win 4-2. Half game back going in behind Baltimore in the East. So at the moment tied. Baltimore is at San Francisco tonight, and they're in the second inning with no score. Boston is leading at home 6-3 in the 6th inning. Eddie Rosario bunts, running as hard as he can up the line. He's out. He is 2 for 4.
Hey, look, if you're going to make a bad bunt, you might as well run the ball out.
And I wonder if Butch Davis said something to Rosario, who even walks slow.
Should have said
some guys need to watch Paulo Orlando play for a week.
Exactly. Didn't they not watch Derek Jeter play? Torrey Hunter.
That topic has come up many times in describing the challenges for the Minnesota Twins this year. No Torrey Hunter in the clubhouse.
That's who you count on to police the clubhouse, to take care of the things that need taken care of. You know, the manager, when he feels a lot more comfortable when he has guys like that in there, he doesn't have to go in there and make his presence known.
And Torrey, right to the very end, I mean, he played hard, he cared, almost helped the Twins get into the postseason last year. Remember, we had a game against Minnesota here, and Torrey lost his mind. Remember, he started taking off all of his clothes when he was arguing with the home plate umpire.
Yeah, after he got thrown out.
Yeah. Brian Dozier has 2 hits, including a home run. Flynn strikes him out, 2 away. Remember to vote for the Royals Player of the Month at one of the 7 Rally House locations in the KC metro area. All participants will be entered to win a majestic prize pack. Escobar backhands, jumps, throws, one hop, got him. Robbie Grossman, who's had a big game, is out. Last chance for the Royals. They are down by 3 coming up in the 9th inning. Santiago, who's been tough on the Royals as a member of the White Sox and the Angels. Coverage begins tomorrow at 12:30 on Fox Sports Kansas City. How in the world did the Minnesota Twins get Hector Santiago for Ricky Nolasco?
I don't know, but wouldn't you know it, Hector Santiago always pitches well against the Royals. We'll see.
Brandon Kinsler is the Minnesota closer. Glenn Perkins had a blown save against the Royals during the Royals' first homestand, and shortly after that went on the disabled list with a left shoulder problem and ended up having surgery. So Kinsler has 10 saves. Presley has 1. And Kinsler will get Morales, Perez, and Gordon.
90 to 96 mile-an-hour fastball, slider, changeup from the new closer. That was some 91 right down the middle. Morales was all over it. Just fouled it off.
Minnesota also used, or could use, Trevor May late in games. He's on the disabled list. Inside to Morales, who faces Brandon Kinsler for the first time. Escobar with the overshift throws out Morales, 1 down. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler with Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery. Producer Joe Vencius, director Steve Kurtenbach. Our associate producers Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, and the producer of Royals Live is Brian Shapiro. Salvador Perez is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
His fastball looks pretty straight.
Little bit outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that got Kerwin Danley.
Man, he's taking a beat. He got one off his wrist, off his hand, off the mask, and now one off the leg. Well, there's no padding. It's a tough night at the office.
Proving once again you can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
Painful.
Pulled on the ground to third. Polanco's had a good defensive night. 2 down. Coming up after the game, Joel and Monty will have Boulevard Royals live. Tough night for Dylan G. He gave up 5 runs, 11 hits, and 5 in a third. And 2 key innings tonight for the Royals on offense, the 5th and the 8th. And in those 2 innings, the Royals had 2 on and nobody out. And both innings ended with a double play. Alex is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. No balls, 2 strikes. 30,147 are here tonight. And many are getting out of their seats. That's got to feel good for the Twins. With a record of 46 and 70, a lot of negative vibes. Their general manager Terry Ryan was fired, so a lot up in the air right now. Disappointing season. But right now the fans are cheering them on like they're still in it. 2-2. Base hit center field. 2 hits for Alex.
There you go. Last night's hit was up the middle. Same thing. Good short compact swing. Told you that fastball looks straight. It's elevated. Clean swing.
Escobar has 2 hits. He doubled in the 7th inning, driving in Salvador Perez. He's had another good night defensively. They're going to let Alex Gordon take second base, and Alcides Escobar is going to take a strike. Escobar takes 2 fastballs for strikes. Remember, we had Royals Hall of Famer Amos Otis in the booth with us last homestand. Amos Otis does not like defensive indifference. He thinks that should be a stolen base. Royals are down to their last strike for the 2nd time. Escobar gets jammed, and Polanco charges, throws high. A run will score, and the tying run will come to the plate.
So, Ned, going to stay with Mondesi. Has Dyson, Billy Burns, Christian Colon available to pinch hit, and he's going to stay with the rookie. Had a hard time getting it out of his glove, and he rushed it. Escobar read Mauer and said, you know, that's going to be an errant throw. And now the Minnesota fans are quiet here again.
And now Escobar takes second, and Mondesi takes strike one. And now through the ovation of Minnesota fans trying to cheer their team to the finish line, we hear a faint "Let's Go Royals" chant.
Great time for his first home run.
0-2. So out of their seats again. Struck him out. Tough night for Mondesi. 2 strikeouts. And back in the 5th inning, didn't get that bunt down. And Minnesota evens the series. Royals won last night 7-3. Minnesota wins tonight 5-3. We'll be right back.